I grew up on the Disney afternoon. Back when MASH would somehow air every hour of every day, before we knew that sugar was bad for us, and in the glory days when cartoons not only ruled the Saturday morning landscape, but also the afternoon frontier, there was a 2-hour block of animated wonder that I would watch religiously. And though it changed iterations over the years, there is a soft spot in my aged millennial heart for the original lineup. Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Tailspin, and most especially Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Now, I loved Chip and Dale. Chip for his wisecracking sense of humor and carefree ways. Dale for his wisecracking sense of humor and carefree ways, and Chip for his relentless sense of vigilance and adventure, his responsibility, his unresolved feelings for Gadget. They were my heroes, my friends. They were awesome. And they made a huge impact on me. I mean, it was years before I understood the influence they had on my fashion sense. Do you mean to tell me that a Hawaiian shirt, a bomber jacket, and a fedora is not the definition of cool? And the theme song, the original low-key banger. I still remember every single word. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks. Now, if you are too young to groove to the Chipmunk beat, I am sorry. You don't know what they took from you. But if you grew up in the 90s, you are guaranteed to be humming along, and please don't stop, because chances are you may have loved Chip and Dale too, but not as much as me. So when I was a child and I went to Disney World, alls I wanted was to see Chip and Dale. Step out of the way, Cinderella's castle. Move on, Mickey Mouse. This is Rescue Rangers or bust in this house. And I looked all over the park, but I couldn't find them until we got to a kiosk in Epcot, of all places. And there they were. Chip and Dale stuffed animals. And I'm not talking Chip and Dale Pluto's tiny tormentors. No, sir. There was Chip in his hat and jacket, Dale in his customary floral print. No, these were the honest-to-God Rescue Rangers. This was the jackpot, and I was taking these boys home. Until I was told that I could have one. Just one. And I had to pick which one I wanted more. And I couldn't do it because it broke my heart. Because we were supposed to be a team, and I couldn't imagine one without the other. A decision in either direction felt like a betrayal. So I started to cry. And I started to sob, and no matter what it looked from the outside, this was not a temper tantrum, this was a crisis of conscience. Because I did not know how to choose. And in that moment, I came face to face with one of the harsh realities of life for the first time, which is that no matter how much you love two things, someday you may have to make a decision to love one of those things more. And it will break your heart every time. After begging and pleading and negotiating, I chose Chip. It was because of the hat and the lasso, and he was the leader. He's who I wanted to be, and I liked him just a little bit more. But I didn't want to live with the guilt of having a favorite, the shame, and I really, genuinely wanted Dale to know that I didn't love him any less. So I went to sleep that night in my hotel room, clutching Chip to me in a combination of sadness and gratitude together. But when I woke up, Dale was there too. And more than even finding him at the park, this was the happiest moment of my tiny life to this point. It turns out that my dad had gone out the night before, or the night after I fell asleep, and back to the park, and he bought Dale for me as a surprise, and one of those gestures that a father does for a son that they'll never forget. And I still have those dolls somewhere in my parents' house. Now, I have a complicated relationship with my father. And in the past, that would have been a euphemism for not very good. But thankfully, over the last few years, we've upgraded to legitimately complicated. But there's a lot of rough water underneath that bridge, and there's a lot of pain and anger that is easy to rise to the surface. But there's also Chip and Dale. And I remember that too.
Jason Howard.